A weak person cannot love. To love, you must be fulfilled. That's why there are so many lonely people today. Love hasn't disappeared. It still exists. Divine qualities still live in men and women, but people lack strength. Our way of life is being lost. We are constantly surrounded by objects that drain our energy. What are these objects called? Gadgets. We constantly interact with these devices and they drain us. We lose our strength. People have become weak. How do you know when you are low on subtle energy? What happens to you? You become more sensitive, vulnerable, easily offended, and quick to anger. You lose strength, focus, and memory. Your mood drops, and your restlessness increases. You become fidgety, and despair sets in. Your mood deteriorates. All this makes it very hard to love. Take a woman, for example, someone who is very sensitive. Is it easy for her to love? What is sensitivity really? People say it's a character trait. But it's not. It's actually a lack of water energy. Take any modern woman and have her spend the right amount of time in water and do static exercises. Static exercises help circulate water energy within the body. You need to absorb it, and you also need to get the circulation going. She will become calm and resilient. She will stop getting on anyone's nerves or taking offense so easily. These are subtle things, so it's hard to understand how it works. But you can experience it yourself. Start swimming, say, in a 28-degree pool for 70 minutes and do static exercises. Stand by the wall for 65 minutes 4 times a week. If it gets difficult, squat for 20 seconds, then stand up again. Try this for 2 or 3 months. Will you become calmer or not? Compare before and after. If you get offended or angry less often, feel less despair. What does that mean? It means you've been nourished with water energy. If there is a critical shortage of water energy, 30%, suddenly a person can no longer live with others. That's it. It's a major social issue. Our lifestyle is off track. People have stopped working outdoors. In the past, everyone worked outside. What did they do there? They mowed, sewed, and worked outdoors. Nobody worked at home. Where does everyone work now? Inside buildings. And what's inside buildings? There is no energy of nature in buildings. The subtle energy body gets depleted. So, is loneliness on the rise in the world? In Russia 10 years ago, 80% of marriages ended in divorce. Now it's 100% statistically. If people come to the registry office, statistically speaking, almost all of them will get divorced. That's the reality.
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not bad. It's just that people don't have enough energy. People lack energy. They lack the strength to live together. They say, I can't live with her. I don't have the strength. Who finds it difficult to live with a loved one? You all lack strength. You lack the energy of nature. It's not that the other person is inherently bad. People become bad, just like a dog becomes aggressive only from a difficult life. If a dog is mistreated, it becomes angry and growls all the time. It needs kind treatment from its owners, then it will stop being angry. It becomes gentle, soft, and affectionate. It wags its tail. People are no different. We need energy. Right now, we lack energy. So how does a woman behave if she lacks air energy? Coldness creeps into relationships. There's no emotional connection. A lack of air energy means a lack of connection. And who creates the connection in the family? Man or woman? It's the woman. If she is not creating that connection, it's because she lacks air energy. How can she replenish it? Through prolonged, continuous movement in fresh air, not in the gym, but outdoors. When a man lacks air energy, he cannot reach his goals in life. He struggles with work, he cannot get a job. He also needs prolonged, continuous movement in fresh air to be filled with air energy. Only then can he change his life. When a woman lacks sun energy, she becomes unattractive and undesired. When a man lacks sun energy, he loses his joy, his cheerfulness, his resilience, and his drive to win. Energy deficiency is the main problem of modern civilization. People are becoming weaker. At puberty, when there is a critical lack of water energy, it becomes especially visible. A girl cannot interact with guys, because to interact she needs water energy. Interaction requires calmness. She cannot interact with men. She finds it easier to relate to other girls. This can grow into a sexual attachment to girls. Likewise, when guys lack water energy, they cannot interact with girls and develop attachment to other guys instead.
What about if it's the opposite for a girl? She can't be friends with other girls, but finds boys more interesting?
That's perfectly normal. Girls naturally find boys more interesting. Not all girls admit this to themselves, but if a girl is more active and self-aware, she realizes it early on that she finds boys more interesting. That's a slightly different topic for another discussion. It just means she's confident, more outgoing, and has a proactive attitude in life. But let me be clear, this is not the topic of today's lecture. This is only the preface to our talk. I just want you to understand why it's hard for many of us. One key reason is a lack of strength. Take me, for example. I'm 59 years old. I've been working nonstop morning to night for the past 8 days. Not a single break. Do I look tired? You understand, it is because I recharged every day. Nature's energy gives real vitality. It allows a person to be joyful, to enjoy being with others, to sincerely wish them happiness, to love. It raises the quality of life. The quality of life remains very high. It even increases with age. Now let's talk about love. Without energy, there is no love. Love is not something that simply appears between people. My dears, love is divine energy, just as electricity is a kind of energy. It flows most easily through a gold wire. It flows a little slower through silver. It is harder for it to flow through copper and even harder through aluminum. Love, too, is energy. But unlike electricity, it doesn't flow through wires. It flows between souls. It is spiritual energy in nature. The soul can love, a stone cannot, and the energy of love belongs to God. It exists in its purest form between God and his divine counterpart. If God loves, can God have a spouse? What do you think? If we can have a spouse but he cannot, then who is more perfect, God or us? If God cannot have a spouse, then we are somehow better. Or say, if we are persons and he is not, then again, what does that mean? Who is better, a person or not a person? God created everything, but can he have a counterpart? Just imagine, we share divine love between each other, but God doesn't. He's lonely. Can that be? No, that can't be. So he has everything too. Everything here reflects what is there. There is a divine world, a spiritual realm. This world is a reflection. It is not an exact copy, but a place where similar processes are happening. All relationships here have their divine prototypes. The bond between mother and son, for example. There is the Mother of God, there is Jesus Christ, there is Mary Magdalene. These are divine relationships. Where do we find perfect love? Between us, say, between an ordinary mother and her son, or between the Mother of God and God? Perfect love exists between the Mother of God and God. There is perfect love. She as a mother is perfect, he as a son is perfect. Between them is perfect love. Do you understand? But between husband and wife, perfect love is not possible. Unless they come to know divine love, they must learn how to love this way. That is the purpose of human life. We are searching for perfect love. So why is it that we often feel unhappy with someone close to us? What is the real reason? It's the lack of purity in the relationship. Just imagine if your close person were absolutely faithful, if they understood you deeply, valued and respected you, how beautiful that would be, right? But why don't they do that? What's the problem? Let's say I don't value my wife, I don't respect her, I am not faithful. Where is the problem? We tend to say the problem is always in her. But the real problem is our lack of knowledge. Take infatuation, for example. Two people fall in love with each other, they enjoy being together, they feel good together. But is this divine love? Divine love. Without love, there is no happiness. They fell in love. But is there love? Do they use this love properly? No. Why not? Because they don't know how. We don't know how. We were born into this world without knowing how. We have to learn. Love can only exist in a selfless environment. In a truly selfless environment, you give yourself completely, and the other person does the same. You expect nothing in return for yourself. That is love. But the moment I start wanting something for myself, it's exploitation of love, and it becomes befouled.
So, in infatuation, is there interaction happening?
Yes, in infatuation there is interaction. People are in love, they are happy. But then it begins. He falls in love and suddenly asks, "Why did you look at the other guy?" Is that pleasant to hear?
This is already a deviation.
What do you mean, a deviation?
Well, she did look at the other guy.
She is a girl, she smiles at everyone, she likes to smile, and he asks, "Why are you smiling at him?"
This is probably some kind of dependency.
That's exactly what dependency is. When a person is infatuated, it's not love, it's dependency. He is constantly sad, saying, "I want to be with you so badly." That's a dependency. Why do we call it dependency? Because the person doesn't actually love, they are using the energy of love. To love means to give, to share, to serve, to be faithful. That is love. But when the attitude is wrong, it turns into exploitation of the energy of love, which means wanting something for yourself. It's about enjoying the other person, trying to use them. What is love by its nature? In spiritual reality, there is eternal love. A person forgets themselves completely, serves, and gives themselves constantly. They desire nothing for themselves, and they receive the same in return. How does it happen here in our world? We get jealous. Come here, stay put. You will live with me now. I love you. Don't look there. Don't go there. You won't go to Sochi. I love you. Is that love? Love means bringing happiness to the one you love, making them feel good. When a man embraces a woman, does he make her happy? No, he's just enjoying her body. At first, she may like it, but soon she realizes that he's not interested in her life. He doesn't even talk to her. Sex alone is not a reason to get acquainted. That's exploitation of the energy of love. This is not love, it is exploitation. It is about enjoying another person's body. Is that love? No, this is infatuation. And over time, infatuation turns into exploitation. So, are we capable of loving or not? What's the conclusion? The truth is no. It is all exploitation. We don't know how to love properly, and that is the problem. We need to learn. Faithfulness. Would you like to experience faithfulness? You know that when people truly experience faithfulness, they never part afterwards. They go to heaven together. And in heaven, things are different. No one is tested there. People are simply happy there. All the exams happen here. Why is faithfulness so rare? Because we see each other's imperfections. People behave incorrectly. They scold. Something's always missing for them. They get angry. Sometimes they betray. How can one live with someone who betrays you? What kind of behavior is that? What do they allow themselves? The truth is, we lack the knowledge of how to behave with each other. What does a woman want in a relationship? She wants protection, stability. She wants a dependable, reliable man, right? She strongly desires stability. Also, she wants him to stop looking at other women, right? She wants purity. It feels dirty when he looks at other women. Love should be pure, meaning you can't exchange love with anyone else. There must be faithfulness, purity, right? There should be no dirt, only purity. Do people know this? No? So what if you cheated once? Let's say you cheated and your wife never found out. Would purity still exist? No. She doesn't know, but she feels something is off. She feels some kind of dirt. Something disgusting, tainted. The relationship has become unpleasant, right? Because love is divine energy. You cannot befoul love. It's divine force, pure, clean, and radiant. Love is something bright and pure. Exploitation, on the other hand, is when I want to enjoy the person. Earn money for me. Be affectionate with me. Be gentle with me. Be careful with me. Be like you used to be. Say those happy, silly things that made my head spin with happiness, that make everything feel warm, even in the cold or rain. Let my tears come only from laughter. Be my protector. Be my support. Be my advocate in the biggest argument. Be my advisor everywhere and anywhere. Be my ally in joy and hardship. So many desires. And in return, and then, my love, you will witness a miracle. I will always be cheerful and beautiful. What does she offer in return? Nothing. She offers nothing in return. This is called infatuation. Infatuation means having many needs without giving anything back. So many desires and expectations. When I have many desires directed at someone, it is not love. It is infatuation and desire. And still there is the energy of love. God gives it to us. Here it is. Here is the energy of love. Please take it. You feel happy, like, how wonderful. As the song says, and already our two paths are merging into one road. There will be many bright days in my fate. Divine energy has already come, and that's beautiful. My first earthly love in the morning of my eyes. That's it. Morning came. Love appeared. But if I don't know how to love, what will happen next? Suffering. When a man doesn't know how to love, how does he behave? Be quiet, just agree. Exploitation. Give me sex, give me respect, give me lunch, give me potatoes. Where are the potatoes? No potatoes? Come on, move. You didn't get the joke, nobody's laughing. All right, fine. This is exploitation. Do women enjoy this kind of love, where they are treated harshly, strictly? A man stares sternly at her like this. Why does he act this way? Have you ever wondered? Love can either be reflected in the heart or in the ego. When ego fills love, a person is poisoned by love. They become arrogant, cruel, impudent, and demanding. They behave demandingly, rudely. They want to dominate, to control. Can a woman also have a poisoned love? Can a woman have this? Of course. How does a woman behave then? She becomes capricious, constantly demanding attention, affection, care, and money. She demands everything, and she does so harshly. If her husband doesn't give, she goes silent. She throws tantrums. Her tone becomes harsh. Yes, women can have a harsh style too, but does she want to behave that way? No. So why does she? Because she doesn't yet know how to love. She doesn't feel it. She thinks love can be forced. Look at me, don't look there. Speak sweetly, tenderly. She doesn't feel love, so she begins to demand, to take offense harshly. Will there be love in such an environment? Can you force someone to love you? Does love grow in an atmosphere of violence? No, it fades away. Why does this happen? Why does a woman become capricious while a man becomes rude, domineering? Does he hate her, or what? No, it's fear. He loves her, but he's terrified of losing her. So he subjugates and commands, look only at me all the time. He is afraid of losing her. Fear creeps in. This is called dependent love. The man tries to control the woman tries to control the man. Both do it out of fear. Why such fear? Because they lack self-sufficiency and inner strength. They feel no grounding in themselves, no purity of heart. They are weak. A weak man becomes rude and lashes out. He belittles and abuses the woman. A weak woman becomes capricious and moody. She takes offense easily. She becomes unpredictable. She takes offense all the time. If he says something even slightly wrong, she gets offended and hurts him with words. Does a man know her pain? Does he know that words hurt a woman? He doesn't know. If he knew, he would always be gentle and affectionate, but he doesn't know. When a person truly loves, do they see into human nature? If a man has learned to truly love, if he has the ability and the capacity to love, will he understand the woman? Yes, he will understand the woman. He will sense what she needs, tenderness, affection, kind treatment, care. He will know that he should never be rude. He will be soft and kind. And if a woman loves a man, she will understand that she needs to always agree with him. A woman's kind attitude means to agree. To love a man is to respect his words, deeply, willingly. So why do we so often not see each other? Because we want to enjoy love. We become blind by this desire. We only see what we want to see in the other person. Two people, a husband and wife, were talking with me. The husband told me, I know her, I feel her, I understand her. They had problems in their relationship, so I turned to his wife. Does he know you? She responded, no. Does he feel you? No. Does he understand you? No. He insisted, but I do. But who decides if someone understands you, yourself or the other? Who decides this? You say you know her. Does she decide or do you decide? She decides. She doesn't feel that he loves her, because if he truly did, he would show it. Why isn't he showing it? Why? Because he doesn't know how to love. Why doesn't he know? Because he sees in another person only what he wants to see. He sees only what he wants to see. He sees what pleases him, what he desires. He doesn't see what the other person truly needs. And the woman also sees only what she wants. She doesn't see what the man needs. She doesn't realize that he constantly needs her recognition, that she should acknowledge him, because a man is born for victory, for knowledge, for mastery. He is an expert in everything, an achiever. A woman is born for harmony, kindness, and tenderness. That's why she must be treated gently and tenderly. With a man, one should honor his opinion. One must also respect his will, but women often neglect this. A woman often says, I love you, but disregards the man's will, his opinion. She may even belittle him in the presence of other people. She may belittle him in front of friends, elders, and in public. Does she love him or not? If she truly loves him, how should she behave? She should show that he is an authority, make his significance visible. To love is to know the other person. Let's say you got a puppy and loved it dearly, but it died. Why did it die? Because you didn't attend to it in a way the puppy needed. It died because you didn't give it what it needed. You were squeezing it, but it needed food and water. No time to feed your beloved one. Once Cat Vasya got into some alcohol and they squeezed him so hard that he died. Just a bit more pressure and that's it, he died. Don't you think we do that to each other? We squeeze a little too hard. my dears, we need to study this, we must learn, and then perhaps some formulas will begin to emerge. So let's study. Picture this. Two people live for each other, behaving correctly, serving each other. The woman constantly honors her husband's opinions. The man constantly treats his wife with unending tenderness, gently, kindly, affectionately. He always inspires her, overlooks her whims. If he is strict, she says, "Yes, my dear, will such a couple live well?" What's stopping them? It's great, isn't it? But what if I try, and my wife keeps being capricious, keeps at it, and doesn't stop being capricious? What should I do? That's right, I should mind my own business. Or should I leave her and shout, "You stupid cow, get out"? Will that help? No, of course not. You see, we lack knowledge. Let's say I continue to serve, to care. Will gratitude grow in her heart? Even if she hides it, will it still appear? Even if it seems that there is no gratitude at all, will it appear? Yes, it will. Why? Because gratitude is the energy of God. It is the Lord who is grateful in her heart. Gratitude arises in her when I serve her. How does she start to perceive me? If gratitude appears in her, how does she react? She begins to respect, and respect is already love. When two people begin to respect one another, not just enjoy or use each other, but respect, then this is no longer infatuation. This is already love. This is not yet loyalty, but this is respect, and respect is the beginning. Before respect comes service and care. To serve, you need to know what to do and how. This knowledge doesn't necessarily mean understanding the person. Just listen for now. When a little girl is born, what does she want? What do all little girls want? Any little girl wants to show that she is good. She shows everyone that she is good. She smiles at everyone, showing that she is good, right? Little girls are also good. And little boys, do they show that they are good? They don't care about being good. What do they show? They show that they are strong. They prove they can. When mom spanks a boy, what does he do? He trains his backside not to feel it. The next time she hits him, he laughs. The mother wonders what to do with this one. Nothing can be done. Every mother feels at some point that raising a boy is beyond her, that she can't do anything, that he's made of iron. Nothing affects him, right? And if she broke him, what then? He becomes soft, spineless. It's even worse. There is such a thing as human nature. There is male nature, and there is female nature. If a person hasn't understood their own nature, they start looking elsewhere, thinking maybe they need to change it. They think maybe it will be better and easier. When I was 18 years old, I faced this myself. There were songs, there was a band. Boys sing like girls. I used to wonder, why do they sing that way? These are foreign bands. In our country, if a boy, let us say Muslim Magomayev, he sings like, "Oh, see, you can tell it's a man singing, and a woman sings like a woman." But these boys sounded like girls. Why? Now I realize there was some hidden, deeper meaning in all of it. And today, that meaning is becoming clear. At the core, the truth is even deeper. People have not truly understood themselves in terms of their male and female nature. A boy needs victory. A girl needs to be considered good. When she is considered good, what kind of relationship will there be? Affectionate, kind, gentle. This is a woman's nature. Are there girls who do not need affectionate, kind, gentle relationships? Raise your hand. Maybe I am mistaken. No. And are there men who do not need victory, achievement of their goals, who just want to live without worrying, not achieving anything? Are there any people here? No, good. Does a man's nature interfere with love if he is strong, brave, intelligent? Does it interfere?
No.
But how should he behave with a woman?
Gently.
But he is strong.
Calmly and confidently.
Kindly? Imagine I am talking to you calmly and confidently. I am calm and confident. Do you like my conversation?
Not really.
Not really. Something is missing there. That is right, yes. So you need to abandon your nature in communication. For example, is a woman obedient by her nature or not? No. Is a man obedient by nature? Obedient. We see that, for example, in the army. A man is obedient.
Sons, when they grow up, they do not really listen to their mothers.
Not really, I agree. And do they listen to their fathers?
Yes, because of authority.
Authority, strength, right?
Yes.
And what does a woman listen to? Love, right? When she loves, she becomes obedient, agrees with everything. And when she does not love, she does not agree. Is that so? When a man, let us say, does not behave tenderly and affectionately, she does not want to obey, but she says, yes, my dear, what does this mean?
She is wise.
Yes, she jumps over her nature. A man, when a woman is being capricious with him, does not respect his authority, but he says, my dear, my darling. Is he acting according to his nature or not? He is jumping over his nature. Why does a person jump over their nature? He wants to please someone close to him. This is what love is. Remember what love is. It is when you jump over yourself simply so that your wife feels good. You need to decide in your life that one of the two should feel good. At least one of the two should feel good, and that will be you. This is love. It is not a choice, but it will be you. Love means sacrifice, courage. Only heroes can love. There are women heroes, there are men heroes. How does a heroic woman behave? Yes, my dear. And what if he becomes impudent? All women are afraid that he will become impudent. Do you know why they say, yes, my dear? They are afraid he will become impudent. Will he become impudent? Definitely. What to do? When you love a small child, does he become impudent? Let us say you gave him your breast once. What will happen next time? He will cry. He will become impudent right away. He cannot live without the breast anymore. He wants the breast every 25 seconds. Is that right? Does this bother you?
No.
Why? Because God gave you unconditional love toward your child. Otherwise, humanity would have died out. Imagine the child became impudent. Get out of here, you beast. He would simply die. He is small.
He is small, defenseless.
I'm explaining this not from the perspective of your emotions, but from God's perspective. The Lord gave us different types of love. For example, what kind of love does God give you toward a man? One in which you learn, we develop in this love. But with a child, we do not develop. The love itself is already pure by its nature. We do not develop, so the child became impudent. Do we abandon him? Do we have the same relationship with our body? A finger got infected, you go to the doctor and say, cut it off, please, I cannot stand it anymore. Faster, please. Remove the eye, pull it out, please. The nose is rotting, please cut it off. You do not think like that. You say, the finger needs to be saved, the tooth saved, the eye saved. But the husband, get out, you beast. Do you feel the difference in perception or not? The child, the parents need to be preserved, but not the husband. Everyone is capricious, behaves badly. Parents need to be preserved. Children need to be preserved. But the husband, get out, you beast. Why do we preserve everything except the husband? You say children are your own, but the husband is not quite your own. Well, there are also non-biological children. You took in a child to raise. Would you throw him out? No. So God gives a different kind of love toward a child, in which we do not develop. It is just given. And there is love in which we develop. Let us compare. Let us say a child starts to become impudent. How will you raise him?
Distance.
That is right, it is distance. Yes, in love there is always meeting and separation. Remember this. If you do not have this knowledge, it is useless to tell you anything. Love cannot live without separations and meetings, but all this exists in an atmosphere of kindness. For example, will your distance toward the child be angry? How will you keep him at a distance with anger? Like how children tell sadistic jokes to each other in childhood. A father is holding a child by the leg and his head goes boom boom on the steps. That is how he is going down the stairs with him. Another man says, but his hat will fall off. He says, do not worry, I nailed it with a small nail. A sadistic joke, what does this mean?
He only thinks about himself.
There is no love. So how should you punish a child, I asked you? You distance yourself from them, do not talk to them. How do you punish them?
With kindness.
With kindness. You wait until they change. You do not act with anger toward them, right? There is no cynicism. When you punish your husband, how do you behave with him? With anger. Cynicism, get out, I hate you. Why does this happen? Why are we kind to a child when we punish them? Because in our hearts we do not develop love. In our hearts the love for a child is already given. For example, a little boy says, Mom, I will be a pilot when I grow up. What do you tell him?
Of course.
Of course, you are already my little pilot. The only thing separating you from being a pilot is the airplane. As soon as you are in an airplane, you are immediately a pilot. You do not have any problems at all, right? What do you say to your husband? He says, I will have my own company. What do you tell him?
Of course.
Come on, you say, are you kidding? What company? Look at yourself. Is it normal to talk to your husband like that? No. Why do we say it? Why does a woman say it? I will tell you an excerpt from Ice Age now. There is a female elephant with possum stepbrothers. She really thinks she is just like them. And they climbed up a glacier. She was worried about them, and they came running back. And she says, "You knew I was worried about you. You could have died. Why did you climb up there? Explain it to me." What did they tell her? "Do you want to know the truth?" She says, "Yes, I want to know. Tell me." What did they answer? "We are just stupid." And this does not just apply to possums. Why do we treat our loved ones so harshly? We are just stupid. We do not know how the energies of love work. If you want to distance yourself from a loved one, kindness must be preserved. But that is not all. It is just the beginning of this knowledge. Because love only moves in an atmosphere of humor. Let us say you love your child. Do you seriously tell him he will be a pilot? No. How then? Jokingly. Is that right? But this joke is aimed at bringing him happiness. This kind of joke means love. Not making fun of him. Yes, you will be a pilot. You will. No, you actually say, yes, of course you'll be a pilot. But you do this without even thinking whether he will be a pilot or not, simply to make him feel good, right? Another example, a little girl asks, "Mom, am I beautiful?" Has a girl, your daughter, ever asked you that?
Of course.
And what does mom say? "Yes, you are just so beautiful. You are the most beautiful. You cannot even imagine." Did mom say this seriously or not? Jokingly. She said it jokingly. Let us say a woman approaches her husband and says, "Am I beautiful?" How does he respond?
The most beautiful.
He should answer like that, does he? Then everything is fine. Then everything is great. And if he says, "Well, to some extent," imagine your little child says, "Mom, will I be a pilot?" "Well, to some extent you will be." He immediately gets upset, starts crying right away because he's not loved. A man needs absolute respect for his desires. Absolutely. You understand? Love has an absolute nature. Of course you will be a boss, and what if he won't be? For example, you tell your child, without thinking, will he be a pilot or not? But you tell your husband and think, what if I'm wrong? What is the difference? Love does not require any truth. It does not live in an atmosphere of truth. It is directed at humor that brings happiness to a loved one, humor that gives them an absolute feeling. An absolute feeling. Love has an absolute nature. So if a girl says, "Am I beautiful?" and he says, "You are the most beautiful," does he know this? Does he see her as the most beautiful or not?
Yes.
No, how? Just like that. Because there are more beautiful women.
But not for him.
Come on, you are talking nonsense.
It depends on what beauty is.
My dear ones, calm down. I am not insulting your love right now. I am studying the topic. I do not doubt your relationships. Everything is fine. Do not get upset. I am talking about love now, because if you suddenly do not understand what I am saying now, it may happen that you will break up without understanding this topic. A wife ages over time, while girls get younger. The time will come when more beautiful ones will appear. Learn wisdom. If a husband tells his wife, "You are the most beautiful," is this true or not? He does not see her as the most beautiful, but says, "You are the most beautiful." Is this true or not? Is this true or not?
True.
It is a truth that he does not understand, because every woman is the most beautiful. God gave her this energy. She has divine energy, which he may understand or may not understand. That is his problem. If God made a woman, she is the most beautiful, and God made every man the strongest. We do not have knowledge about this. We do not understand anything about it. Because the soul, by its nature, is the most beautiful. In a female body, the soul manifests feminine energies. In a male body, masculine ones. The soul is always sublime because it is spiritual. The spiritual cannot be secondary. It is always only the most beautiful. Any woman is the most beautiful. If a man says, "You are the most beautiful," does she become more beautiful or not?
Yes, of course.
Her beauty comes out, then he can see it. If she tells a man, "You are the strongest," does he become stronger?
Yes.
Then she will see this strength in him. Love inspires people. And if people do not know how to love, does this inspire? It extinguishes love. Can a woman tell a man, "You are weak"? A fool can, a woman no. What is the difference between surgery and murder?
There you went a little too far.
Correct, almost nothing. Nothing works out. Something went wrong. Was my operation successful? There was a 20% chance of death with this operation. How is surgery different from raising a loved one? Raising a loved one is never surgery. Remember this. Understand? Never a surgery. We are talking about loyalty. It is all about loyalty. There is no loyalty without knowledge. Loyalty is the energy in which love flows. You should speak gently and tenderly with a woman, even if she is being capricious. What are caprices? This is female rudeness, remember. There is male rudeness, it is obvious, and there is female rudeness that is hidden. Is a man a good person or a bad one? Yes, I will tell you a man's biography now. He was born, was bad for a while, then died. Is a man a good person or a bad one?
Good.
Yes, they are constantly killing everyone, walking around angry. If they are good on the street, then why are you afraid? If you see a man in the dark, that is scary. If he is good, then why are you afraid? If he is good, then you should be happy. Is a man good or bad? Dangerous. A man is a dangerous person. Because God has endowed him with strength, even men are afraid of men. I am telling you seriously, everyone fears strength, everyone is wary of it. Where does a man get his strength from? From God. And where does a woman get her strength from? From God's spouse. God's spouse is also divine power. It is also God, but the female aspect, the feminine principle, divine incomprehensible power. Secret. No one knows that God has a spouse. There is no knowledge. This is secret knowledge. Secret power, incomprehensible. She simply gives you this energy and you use it constantly. Yes, when you look into someone's eyes, these are all her energies, not yours. Beauty may or may not be in you, but she always has it. A person may or may not have love, but God always has it. Sometimes we are loved, sometimes not. We cannot control this, but God can. He can make you love him. These are his energies, not ours. But we can use it. He has given us this energy, connected our hearts. But for what purpose? For human development. The purpose of human life is love. We must learn this. This is a very complex thing. People think, just give me a woman whom I will love, the rest I will figure out. But no, everything will not be fine for you. You must learn to love first, and this is very difficult. To love means to serve someone, not seeking your own benefit, but simply for the good of others. You give me this, I give you that. Is it possible to live like that? After all, this is the law of the jungle, and there is no love in it. This is my money, and this is your money. Is this love? Of course, there is common sense. For example, if you transferred everything to your husband and he ran away, this is dangerous. Close people can become enemies. The closer they are, the more fierce enemies they can become. Because love can turn into hatred if it is not real love, but if it is real, never. We do not know how to love. Love flows only in an atmosphere of loyalty. This is its wire through which it flows. The wire of love is loyalty, no love. Well, he fooled around a little in his youth. A female joke. Were you a member of the court in your youth? I was a member here, a member there. A vulgar joke about female matters. This is not love. Love means loyalty. Do you understand the system? Of course you can say, yes, I cheated a little, but things are normal with my wife. What does normal mean? Love is pure energy, divine. What does normal mean? Normal for whom? Is it normal for her? Look into her heart, she is sick of you. If you repent, then it will be a different matter. Yes, love, it is restored, rebuilt after repentance. Why do people cheat? There is no knowledge. They do not understand the price they will have to pay. The price is high. You do not love your children. You loved your children in general. You lived for them. You cheated. Do you love your children? Watch the cartoon Kai and Gerda. Kai loved Gerda, met the Snow Queen, glass eyes. That is it. He does not love her anymore. Why? He met the Snow Queen. A man fell in love with a girl. Does he need his children? His own children for whom he lived, does he need them? Well, a little bit. Sometimes not at all, and sometimes a little bit. He does not really communicate with them anymore, right? Why? Love stopped flowing. Betrayal destroys love. Is our love an eternal relationship? Do we have eternal relationships of love? No, we must earn it. We want eternal love. Who does not want eternal love? Who among you does not want it? Everyone wants eternal love. How do we achieve eternal love? We need to earn it. We need to learn this. Let us say, for example, a wife is being capricious. As in one song, sometimes thoughts are like clouds, sometimes jealousy torments us, but one of the two must smile, and I smile at you. This is what love is called. So that means my wife is being capricious, but I behave kindly with her. Does she become impudent because of this? She does, and I go to the shore of separation. How did I do this? Very carefully. She may not even know that I am on the shore of separation. Well, she sees that for some reason we are not talking. She asks, is everything okay with you? Yes. Did I do something wrong? No. Love is an energy that is called figure it out yourself. It does not like any knowledge. The more knowledge, the less love. You should prove it. Do you even know how Dr. Torsunov said you should behave with a woman? Do you even know? Love immediately fades. Dr. Torsunov said that men should always be respected, his word. Do you understand? You should nod your head. Yes, my good one. Yes, my dear. Understood? Practice. Love fades. I have been giving lectures for 30 years. My wife and I have been living together for 17 years. She listened to my lectures before we met. Then when I married her, I said, "You listen to the lectures, this is how a woman should behave." She told me, "Save your lectures for your female listeners." Knowledge ended, love began. Where there is love, there is no energy of knowledge. I can no longer teach her with my lectures. She tells me herself, "Listen at this minute, the duties of a man," smart people say. Funny, right? Can you explain anything to someone close to you at all? As soon as you start explaining, what happens?
Arguments.
Nothing works. It is like they are made of glass. They do not hear. Everyone else hears, but this one person does not hear. Why? Love gets in the way. But generally, can you talk to someone close to you in a kind way? Yes, if there is love. Only when there is a lot of love, you can talk kindly a little bit. But if you have knowledge, you want to prove more to the person, and you have less love, then they will not hear anything from you. For them to hear, there needs to be more love. For example, can you explain to a child that they should not get bad grades? Can you?
We can, but it does not work.
You can, but you need to be very kind, gentle. My dear son, you brought home a bad grade. Why? But first listen to them. You will learn many interesting things. That the teacher is stupid, that he is going through a bad period, nothing is being absorbed, that he feels bad during the lesson, that this girl sits next to him and prevents him from studying. You will learn so much about why he got a bad grade if you listen to him. And if you listen to him, that is called love. When you want to punish him for the bad grade, that is not love. But when you want to listen to why he got a bad grade, that is already love. When you want your son to know all subjects with excellent grades, that is not love. But if you want your son to find the subject that he needs the most and study it, that is love. Love is not making a person into what you want them to be. You need to make them into what they can become, because they are already made. It is just not visible. They were already like this before they became like this through many lives, and now it is just not visible. And give the opportunity for this to become what it should be. It will never become anything else. You can only prevent it from becoming what it should be. The flower can remain unopened. Can a flower grow but not bloom?
Yes.
Does anyone need such a flower or not? How can a child bloom? Do not interfere. Do not force them to learn what does not work for them. You can scold them a little for bad grades, but invest heavily in what works for them, because that is their nature. These are their accumulations from past lives. They need to be revealed. They have enormous potential, but you do not know exactly what. A person's enthusiasm means going their own way. When a person follows their own path, they have great enthusiasm. No enthusiasm. My child does not want to study. You have already extinguished it. You are already not letting them bloom, because you have ideas that they should become the same as you. They will never become the same as you. They will become the same as themselves, just as you all became the same as yourselves. No one will become the same as someone else or different. Each person only becomes themselves. If you have not recognized your child, then you will never help them in life. The same goes for a husband. He has a masculine nature, divine, by the way. You just need to help develop it. You can do it. You will succeed. He thinks he is saying something smart. A woman feels, whether it is smart or not, better than a man. She has intuition. She knows where her husband is going. Let us say he is going the wrong way. Does a woman feel this? Yes. God immediately tells her, imagine how great that is. What amazing harmony. A man has the strength to go, and a woman has the strength to correct him on this path. But a man does not know about this female power. He thinks he is definitely going the right way. Any man thinks he is going the right way. Can a woman explain to him that he is not going the right way? No. Can she correct him? She can. How? For example, he says the boss is wrong. How should you respond? You should agree. Of course, he is wrong. Then you can ask during lunch, for example, listen, there are opinions that this is how it should be done. This is exactly the boss's opinion, word for word. He says, this is not the right opinion. But if you said it kindly, a drop of doubt will appear in his heart that he is right, and this drop will lead your husband to the truth. This is how you can carefully guide him. A woman works as a switchman on her husband's railroad. He is riding on a steam engine. You understand? He needs to go forward and very fast. Can she turn him around immediately? Can a train be turned around immediately? No. But she can move the switch a little bit, and he thinks he is going forward. He is going a little forward, but slightly in a different direction. Then she moves the switch a little more, and he is already going in another direction, the opposite one. He still thinks he is going forward, because that is the male nature. He always needs to go forward. This is how you need to be with a man. Very carefully move the switch a little bit, change his consciousness a little bit, and he will not even notice. A husband and wife are sitting at a lecture. I often saw her at lectures, but him for the first time. I asked him, "Did you come to my lecture on your own?" He says, "On my own." And his wife is sitting next to him smiling. I say, "Did you feel this knowledge yourself?" He says, "I have always felt it." And his wife is sitting there laughing. Will she tell him that she brought him or not?
No.
Why? Because she is a wise woman. And what would a foolish woman do? She would yell, "I am the one who brought him here." Will love between them strengthen if she says that? Will he come to the lecture again? No. Is knowledge needed in love? Yes. But when we communicate, knowledge takes second place, and especially knowledge about the behavior of a loved one should be hidden. You will never be able to explain to them how to behave, no matter how hard you try. His friends can explain it to him. You can influence his friends, but again, this is a very delicate thing. Let us say you started doing healing practices, a healthy lifestyle. Your health improved significantly. Your life improved. Life has improved. Raise your hand. Who is experiencing this now? Can you explain it to your loved one? No. Can you help them? Yes. How? Just say, "I feel good when I run. I feel good standing in water. It feels wonderful." That's it. Say no more. Will your loved one change quickly? No. They will change slowly. Why slowly? Because your loved one is your tale, your fate. This is a reflection of your life in the past. If you want to know how you lived in your past life, just look at your loved one. Their shortcomings are your past life. Did you change quickly? No. They will change slowly, and that's normal. So we study what love is. Love is a selfless energy. Or rather, it is energy that brings joy. Love is energy that gives pleasure, happiness, harmony, purity, joy, and beauty. Energy that opens the soul in another person's heart. You begin to see sublime things in them, even if you don't realize it. When a woman loves a man, she sees purity in him, in a sublime way. This is divine vision. The man himself doesn't even understand what she sees in him. He doesn't see in himself what she sees in him. When a man loves a woman, she cannot even imagine how much of the divine he sees in her. Love always means seeing the divine, but our ability to love is very weak. So, in this divine vision, we begin to exploit. A man seeks to enjoy a woman's body. A woman enjoys a man's influence. Immediately, they begin to use each other for pleasure. Love fades as a result because when this sacred energy is misused, love fades. Now I have a question. To enjoy a woman, must a man make an effort? No, she will bring him pleasure anyway. But to make her happy, must a man make an effort? That takes enormous effort. Every step is a huge effort. Imagine, a woman says, "Is it so hard for you to say something tender?" What do you think? Is it easy for him? It is very hard because by nature, a man is not tender. He is rough. When two men meet each other, do they say, "Oh, how glad I am to see you"? Is that how they meet? No, they say, Hi, how are you? Fine. Why do you look so wrinkled? Me? I don't know. Probably I didn't get enough sleep. Well, go back to bed then. Go sleep. This is male affection. This is how they bond. What kind of love do women have? Oh, my dear, I love you so much. Yes? Do women make friends with each other like that? I adore you. You're so cool, really. Women make friends like that, right? Yes. Do men make friends like that? No. Men also love hugs and being kissed. If we're talking about proper love, a man loves it when a woman hugs him and kisses him. Does a woman like it when a man is strong and strict? She likes a man who behaves like that, but not with her. She likes it when he is strong and strict at work, but when he comes to her, she likes him to be gentle. Imagine a tiger and a tigress are sitting upset. The tigress asks, "Well, are you going to ask for forgiveness?" The tiger replies, "Just a moment. I need to gather my strength." They continue sitting. "Have you gathered your strength?" "I have." Then ask, "Forgive me, my dear, for you biting me." "Is he a strong man?" "He is. He is a very strong man, this tiger." See, women liked it. For a man, this is a complete paradox. My wife called me yesterday. She started being capricious, scolding someone. I kept replying, "Yes, yes." Then I said, "Listen, I have a festival going on here. I'm so tired. Can you tell me all this a little later, in 3 days? I don't have the strength to listen now." She said, "But I haven't finished talking yet." So she asked me, "What are we going to do now? You are tired, but I am not finished." I replied, "I don't know." She said, "Well, then pretend to listen, but think about something else." I said, "Okay, fine. Even if you try hard, it doesn't always work." So what's the first thing you need to love someone? What do you need first? First thing you need is knowledge. If you don't know how love works, then don't know how this energy works. If you think love means constantly proving yourself, arguing every step, will love flow or not? No. First, get knowledge. Then, someone already said what's needed second. Second is energy. Energy is needed. No strength, no love. 2 emaciated people are crawling. One hits his head on the asphalt once, then again. The second one asks, "I don't understand. Are you doing some kind of obstacle course?" No strength, no love. You understand? Let's imagine a woman runs. Where does all this energy go when she runs?
Into beauty.
What kind of beauty? How does she look? Her gaze becomes radiant and strong. Her body becomes slim, strong, and light. Her gaze becomes bright and strong. She walks confidently, with inner strength and power. Air energy turns into beauty in a woman. What about the energy of water? What does the energy of water turn into in a woman? She becomes soft, gentle, with big, kind eyes. The energy of water goes into beauty. What does the energy of the sun turn into? Into beauty. She becomes rosy-cheeked, and her eyes shine. Fire in her eyes appears. Her lips become red, and her cheeks become rosy. In a woman, everything turns into beauty. Where does everything go in a man? Into strength. When a man performs prolonged, continuous movement, he becomes brave, determined, and strong-willed. If he sits in water, if he practices stillness and static exercises, he becomes calm and impenetrable. Someone says something to him, and he takes everything calmly. When a man receives the energy of the sun through fasting or the sun itself, what happens to a man? He becomes cheerful. Yes? Are women cheerful by nature? No. Where does sun energy go in a woman? It turns into love. She starts to love people, to adore everyone. When a woman receives the energy of the sun, she starts to enjoy life, nature, and people. The energy of the sun in a woman turns into love. She starts to love everyone and to feel good with everyone. So what does she become?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Let's anchor that thought. She becomes a woman who absorbs the energy of nature. When a person connects with nature, with the energy of nature, their own true essence begins to awaken. And what is a woman's nature? To be beautiful. And a man's? To be strong. So the first thing you must seek is knowledge about what love is. Without knowledge, everything falls apart. Then comes strength. Without strength, there is no possibility. Nothing holds. Next, you must draw strength from nature. I'm giving you detailed instructions now. How to draw power from nature. Visit the website torsunov.ru. In the materials section, there's a methodical health guide to effective healing and recovery of the body. All my knowledge and experience are aggregated in this methodical guide. Follow these instructions and your health will improve. Once you've gained strength, calmness and kindness will appear. This is the energy of water. With it, the ability to connect with people appears. A cold woman cannot marry because she has no contact with others. Without contact, no one sees her. Then comes motion, prolonged continuous movement. You must receive the energy of air. The energy of the sun gives beauty. A woman knocks everyone off their feet. She shines, dazzling everyone. The energy of the sun comes through fasting, through contact with the sun. In Sochi, there's plenty of sun. In the Caucasus, the sun shines right brightly. In Europe, the sun shines differently. There is plenty of sun here. You should be cheerful, actually, but you seem to lack joy. You lack energy, you cannot interact with it. If a person absorbs the sun's energy wrongly, absorbing it into themselves, how do they become?
Irritable.
They become very aggressive.
What do you mean by absorbing it wrongly?
Wrongly means that in sunny lands and in sunny zones you must be very optimistic. Without joy, it's impossible to absorb the energy of the sun. A woman should care for others, love everyone, and a man should be cheerful. Without this, they can't handle the sun. If a person can't handle the sun, they start feeling bad. They grow angry, tense, and even violent, saying, "I'll kill you now," or "I'll kill everyone." That's what it means to have an incorrect contact with the sun's energy.
What about water and air? Is there also a right or wrong way?
Yes, of course, there's a lot of water energy in the north. There's a lot of air energy in the mountains. If absorbed incorrectly, the energy of air makes a person cruel. Mountain people can be very cruel. They may strike in a few seconds. They may even kill. If the energy of water is absorbed incorrectly, a person becomes very soft.
Weak?
Yes, weak, very soft-hearted, too indulgent.
But we also have water in Sochi.
Indeed, here in Sochi there is also water. There is a special breed of people here who are pleasure seekers.
Pleasure seekers.
Yes, those drawn to comfort become pleasure seekers. As in one song, in a blissful space, in a secluded corner, not thinking about sorrow, with a cup of wine in hand. Incorrect energy of water and sun combined. The incorrectly combined sun and water energies breed pleasure seekers. So again, first knowledge, then strength. Once you have knowledge and strength, what's next? Next, you must learn not how to make yourself happy in love, but how to bring joy to your loved one. This is very hard. You have to step over yourself every moment. Faithfulness is the foundation of love. You must nurture love, even when unrecognized. Your loved one may not immediately understand or appreciate you. How should a woman behave with a man? Never force your loved one to love you. Never demand love or proper behavior toward yourself. Love is self-sufficient. It teaches on its own. When a woman acts with grace and behaves correctly, she invites gratitude. The man becomes grateful and starts behaving well. He begins to see and understand her. He starts speaking gently. He'll sit down and forget distractions. He will leave everything behind and talk only with her. Do you know how to determine if a man loves you and sees you? Do you know how to determine it?
He gives flowers.
Through flowers? Do you know how to determine it?
He listens attentively.
Yes, who said that?
He listens attentively.
Yes, he listens, really listens. You tell him something and he says, "Yes, my dear, I will definitely do it." He behaves very gently, tenderly. He listens, he pays attention, he gives his full attention. For example, a hockey game is on. Fetishov is about to score, but he's looking at his wife. Can you imagine? He leaves the world behind just to hear his wife speak. She says, "Come, I want to tell you something," and he responds, "Sure, tell me." Would you like that, ladies?
Yes.
Are you ready to pay the price?
No.
No? Excellent answer. Thank you for your honesty. All right, excellent. I'm very glad that you've started to understand what we are discussing here. So let's move to the third step. I become brave, strong, courageous, and open to love. I want love. I become brave, strong, courageous, and I start doing what my loved one likes. But first I must study this and understand it well. What does a man need to see respect in your eyes? Imagine you've never seen a reindeer before and you've just arrived here. Like in the song, "On a rainy gray autumn day, a deer galloped through the city." And it's like that every single day. Your deer will grow real antlers. He'll become a real man, a real northern reindeer, antlers and all. That's better than having no antlers at all. I was in Kazakhstan once and someone told me, "A Kazakh without antlers is an antlerless Kazakh." And you know what? It is true. So when will you start working on this? There are many subtleties to this. It's complicated. It requires strength. It's hard for a woman to be obedient. She's disobedient by nature. Imagine a man walks in, rough around the edges, and the woman says, "Yes, my dear." Can you imagine the strength it takes, especially when she actually wants to tear him apart? If a man says just one stern word to a woman, she immediately wants to tear him apart. Just one word, and she immediately becomes a tigress, right? Yes. One stern word, not even harsh, just stern. And how should it be?
Yes, my dear.
Exactly. Yes, my dear. Imagine how difficult that is. But that's what love is. Love is difficult. Now imagine a woman is being capricious. How does a man perceive this?
As sabotage.
Yes, exactly. It's painful. It's hard. How should it be instead?
But what does being capricious even mean?
Good question from a woman. I've studied this. Do women even realize when they're being capricious? I would like to understand this. Let's say a man approaches her and puts his hand on her shoulder. The woman immediately reacts. Every woman is capricious in her own way.
Does being obedient mean breaking yourself?
Excellent question. No, you don't need to break yourself. But now we are entering the next level, the third and the most difficult topic, which you likely won't understand now. I won't even try to explain it yet. I've intrigued you, haven't I? I'll explain a bit later. See, this step might look like humiliation, but it isn't reality, if done the right way. And to do it right, one needs to rely on God, because true love doesn't exist without God. If you want to be able to love someone close to you, you must be self-sufficient and strong, so much so that your relationship can shift from a heavy sphere to a light one. Why is love so often heavy, painful, hurtful, serious? People in love often have gloomy faces. They take everything very seriously. Do you know why their love exists in a heavy sphere? Because they don't have the strength for love. Love requires internal resources. To build this strength, one needs to rely on God. When you rely on God, you become rich from within, self-sufficient. You obtain inner reserves. Then they can allow themselves to be in love, like a fish in water. Love should be light, and you need to achieve this light style yourself. Take how we speak to a child. We naturally adopt a light, warm style. How do you behave with children? We are speaking easily, we are joking, we are laughing. Mom, will you give me candy? Of course, my dear, but let's eat first. Now imagine a wife says, will you buy me a dress? And the man immediately replies, what dress? We have no money. Don't you understand? We don't even have food. Amazing, isn't it? A woman says, buy me this dress, but there's no money. The man is surprised. What's wrong with you? Do you have something wrong with your head? But there's nothing wrong with her. She's just a woman, right?
Right.
Ladies, please tell me honestly. Gentlemen, please be silent and breathe very deeply. Really deeply, try to breathe deeper. Ladies, please just tell me honestly. There's not a penny in your house, no money at all. Is it still normal to want a beautiful dress?
Yes, that's the perfect time to want one.
Gentlemen, are you still breathing? Are your brains overheating?
Well, a man should have some motivation, right?
No need to explain. You've just said that it's normal to want a dress when there's no money. Now I'll ask the men. Be honest, there's no money at all. Is it normal that your wife wants a dress? Honestly. Who said yes? Raise your hand. You came with your wife, didn't you? Did you hear what he said? Do you have a crucifix here? Do you know what crucifixion is? It's when you're immediately and firmly fixed in place. A man must be very brave to say that next to his wife. A woman remembers everything. She never forgets anything. When a man says something, she has an absolute memory for men's words. All women have it. It's innate.
You only asked about wanting, not about buying.
There's no difference here anymore. For a woman, there's no difference between wanting and buying. There's only the distance between the two. Let's say a man tells a woman, I have a desire to marry you. How does she hear that? She thinks registry office in September, then we'll get a mortgage for an apartment in December, then first pregnancy. Is that how a woman perceives these words? She's already getting specific. She's planning her life ahead. So be careful about agreeing to women's desires. I'll give men one piece of advice. If you want a woman to be happy, you should know one thing. As in the song, Don't Be Sad, Everything is Ahead of Us. What specifically did he say?
Don't be sad.
He said everything is ahead of us, but he didn't say what specifically. And that's good. Are you interested in this topic? Do you know that on the third day, we will have a retreat, Victory Over Fate? Are you ready to pray like that? Tomorrow you will hear what you have never heard anywhere before. We will talk about what loyalty and respect really are. We will talk about how they bring happiness and how to strive for that. We will discuss a woman's duties, a man's duties, and how to develop those qualities in yourself. How can we ensure that a man doesn't suffer from a woman's whims and a woman doesn't suffer from a man's strictness? How can we cultivate this in ourselves? And how should we relate to love in general? Love should be treated like a child. This is an easy style. With a child, we joke around, and that's exactly how it should be with a husband, and with a wife too. Let's say she says, I want a dress. What should you reply? Like in that song, don't be sad, don't say goodbye, everything is ahead of us. When will you buy the dress? I will definitely buy it soon. And when exactly? When I have the money, then I'll buy it, my dear. You understand? She will say, I will wait. Will she like that kind of answer? You see, we will never truly understand each other. We are completely opposite by nature. But love unites people. Love is a light, playful space. If someone truly loves, they will joke and laugh. Let's say a wife is being capricious. How will a husband talk to her? Will he take her whim seriously? Yes, my dear. And when a woman is being capricious and he gets indignant about it, does she like that kind of reaction? When he says, what are you talking about? Everything is fine, don't worry. Does she like that?
Yes.
This is an easy style. This is what she likes, not when he takes her whims to heart. An easy style means not making a big deal out of it. Why does a child scream? A child yells, everyone is on edge, except the mother. The mother comes over and says, everything is fine, my dear, while everyone else's eardrums are about to burst from the screaming. Why is she calm? Because she loves the child. Why do people get together? They enjoy each other, but what should they get together for? Of course, she was scared, but she still acts gently, kindly, tenderly, pretending that everything is fine. This means she loves. Let's learn from the way we love a child how to behave with the person we love.
Can I ask a question at the end? Does it mean that before love, people should have some shared values?
People should get together to share one life path. That's why some people start with sweetness and then have bitterness for the rest of their lives. While others start with a bitter taste, they come together, try to understand each other, communicate, and then enjoy the sweetness for the rest of their lives. Why? Because they understood each other. They understood that they share one path. That means they should marry. But if they are on different paths, then too bad for them. When I talked about someone being the most beautiful and not the most beautiful, I didn't mean your family. You are undoubtedly the most beautiful to him. And you will always be the most beautiful. And he is the best person for you. I have no doubt about it. When I said those things, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking for those who still need to learn how to love someone. If love is already there, then there's nothing more to learn. Some people naturally feel how things should be. They feel it from the very beginning, and then everything is fine. No problems, nothing to learn. But sometimes people don't feel it, and then they need to learn. I wish you peace, love, happiness, health, and all the brightest things in your life. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.